Hello, my name is Joel Blizzard. I'm going to talk to you about student e-portfolios as a project-based assessment. Um, so often we hear these terms thrown around, and we may not be entirely clear on the meaning of what an e-portfolio is or what a project-based assessment is, um, as known as PBAs. So, portfolios are an excellent way to engage students in the process of detailing their design process from ideation to improvement using digital literacy skills based in computer science. So, this is about choice and reflection and immediate feedback loop when students automatically produce a website for a broader engagement in the community. Um, so, this creates a sense of independence and accountability. Students show they've met standards and they have collected artifacts along the way and present them with reflections. And all of this together through the process of creating a project and fulfilling the standards then becomes the means for a formative assessment. And so the assessment can take place throughout the process with an e-portfolio being the method for their presentation of their work. It ends up providing just that need. So, one of the things that we want to be clear about is just how an e-portfolio functions as a product, and it's created by the learner, so that they're not only are they in this case defining what it is they're working on in their project, but they're creating a secondary product of reflection, a collection of digital artifacts articulating experiences, achievements, and learning, and the purposeful aggregation of digital items, ideas, evidence, reflections, feedback. And this presents a selected audience with evidence of a person's learning or ability. And this transfers very readily over to career readiness. So when we discuss, where students are going in their future, we really want them to be able to present themselves in a digital format. And sometimes, if a piece of an experience can't really be given across in a resume, say, one possible solution for that might be very welcome by today's employers would be some kind of like a portfolio presented online, something they could easily access. And that brings us to the wider rationale too for these e-portfolios. They're accessible. You can anywhere that you have the internet, you can see them and edit them, work on them, add content to them. And this is a buzz term, the 21st century skills, but it can't be said enough. Just how having the ability to produce an e-portfolio um, is a powerful opportunity. And just by the nature of that they are an independent, individualized experience, we can see them as an opportunity for differentiation in the classroom. So each individual, learns differently and might reflect very differently on their learning. So, in the sense of traditional education, traditional means of assessment, the potential for moving away from that sort of like multiple choice questions and true false questions ends up being a very wide opportunity for students with very different learning skills, learning styles. And the opportunity for reflection, um, just the act of thinking about thinking, known as metacognition, is what's required for this form of self-assessment. And this metacognition process can truly cultivate a sense of independence and deeper learning in students. So the common ways of, the different ways we use e-portfolios, I think in the past, these were pretty clunky and the technology is very much improved. advances in web design have made it so that e-portfolios are literally, as we know from this course using Blogger, um, very much a turn it on, start clicking, and upload, and begin to work on text. And you have this very beautiful looking uh, website that people can view. So it ends up being just a wonderful way to show learning. Um, and often these platforms are in sync with learning management systems. So Google Sites obviously is part of the Google Suite, and uh, notice that several different LMS have at least something that could be used or adapted for an e-portfolio. The wonderful thing too that to see is that this is a piece of, at this point, youth culture. Embedded in youth culture is the presentation of identity and showcasing them what it is they're doing. In this case, their work, their project, in social media. So e-portfolios capitalize on this. And again, back to formative assessment. Formative assessment is made easier by the process of a teacher being able to access those e-portfolios in progress, in action, and provide immediate feedback as they're being produced. The day that they're updated by a student, a teacher can uh, present different directions or different suggestions, or even contribute to those portfolios in some kind of like a the interactive style that we've seen out there. So this is a great opportunity. And back to this part about meeting students where they are. Uh, as I said before, young people are already using social media and are quite the expert with TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and all of these ways that these things will tend to come up as you develop the e-portfolio. You can reference the skills that they already have using those platforms, and allow them to feel that they have some expertise already. And this, in a sense, creates a higher engagement if they're already feeling like they're doing something that to them is fun. Then the buy-in is something that you're going to experience. Um, and it should be said that students themselves are already they're very tired of the traditional methods. They're tired of uh, the skill and drill and testing models that have um, basically we're starting to move. Many teachers are moving away from. So using this sort of form of project-based learning, project-based formative assessment, and then allowing them to use the technology to present is a win-win. So along those lines, we need to get with the program. Um, the account needs to be taken of a profound media shift in literacy, schooling, and society. A broad-based shift from print to digital electronics is the organizational context for literate textual practice and for learning and teaching. According to Durant and Green, this is um, the calling of our time as educators. So, just for example, using e-portfolios in a STEAM technology class, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics class, uh, which is working on group projects, combine traditional materials and modern electronics, sensors, or digital media itself. They're following a design thinking engineering protocol. They then must post each step of the design process on an e-portfolio that has provided prompts for each step of the process. These include empathize to discover true needs, defining the problem, designing possible solutions, research and brainstorm, maker time, so making the actual project, and then evaluating and improving. And this is an iterative process, so this would begin again at the true needs? Did we meet the true needs? Do we have to redefine the problem and redesign and move through? Now, often, of course, you're limited by time and the function of a short class time, so you can't really reproduce projects through that iterative process of design over a course of one semester or school year that students might have this type of class. And but it at least allows them one time through the process, and this allows them to prove that they've met standards. The standards being presented in order to fulfill the expectations of the course. And these are two examples here of a captive touch Arduino piano keyboard in process, and you can see the discovering true needs to make music and using the electronics as an assist. And then the second example here is of an electrothon car that's used to promote the idea of electronic vehicles um, and of course all of the um, the projects that would go into that. So this concludes my presentation on using ePortfolios in project-based assessments. I hope you've enjoyed this.